Hey traders, today I have something pretty incredible to share with you, so I'm going to let the intro and disclaimer roll, and we're going to jump right into it. While I do that, if you're someone who enjoys free educational content about Forex trading, then feel free to click that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you're alerted when we come out with new content. We currently have one of the largest trading communities online, and there's a very good reason for that. We try to provide you guys with extremely high value content each and every week. So if you want to be kept in the loop and alerted every time that free content comes out, again, make sure you're subscribed. Click that like button for me while the intro and disclaimer roll. I'll see you guys directly after. So today I'm going to teach you guys a skill that's helped me make numerous profitable trading strategies, and that also allows me to make market predictions each and every week that we post here on YouTube with a high degree of accuracy. And I'm not just going to tell you guys that. I'm actually going to show you some clips from last week's market predictions and show you how the market moved based on those predictions. So to start off with, the first pair we're going to take a look at is the euro dollar. And here on the euro dollar, we had a prediction last week for trend continuation on this pair. What I'm going to do is really quickly play a short clip from last week's video, and I'll be right back to share the current analysis on this pair, what we're expecting this pair to do at this point, and also to talk a little bit more about last week's analysis and why we had those expectations out of the euro dollar. So let's go ahead and go to that clip, and I'll be right back. So on the euro dollar, what we're expecting to see is either this market push up into 1.1793 and give us some kind of entry reason from that area to go short and continue in this downtrend, or a push down to our counter trend level at 1.1307, and that's where we'll look for possible long opportunities here out of this pair. Now, there's only one other scenario we can take a look at here on the euro dollar, at least for me, and that is going to be currently downtrend bias on the daily chart based on the previous trend before this period of consolidation. Considering that we have that downtrend bias, what I like to look for is down on my lower time frames, such as the 4-hour time frame. I'll go here and see if we're in a downtrend. Are we in a downtrend on the 4-hour time frame? The answer to that is no. We're not in a downtrend on our 4-hour time frame. We had this move down, another move down, another move down, creating lower highs and lower lows. Lower low, after that we get a higher high, a higher low, and we're putting ourselves in what looks to be a reversal scenario, pushing the market back up. So the only other thing that we're looking for out of this pair is that if we continue in this downtrend, breaking below structure levels, looking left, then we can start looking for short trades, pushing the market down further, because we are at that point going to be in a downtrend on the daily and in a downtrend here on the 4-hour time frame. So that was our analysis on the euro dollar as of last week. Let's take a look, and I'll actually point out where the market was. We were hovering around this level last week. We talked about if the market gets up to these highs, we can look for possible shorting opportunities from there. If the market gets down to these lows, we can look for possible long opportunities from there. That's what we had just discussed. And more recently, at the very end of our video from last week, we talked about on a 4-hour time frame, if we broke back into a downtrend on that time frame, that we could start looking for short trades all the way down to our previous level of support, right? That's what you just saw at the end of that clip from the last week's analysis. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and take a look at what actually happened. Here on this chart, the market did exactly what we said, right? We had that expectation that if the market pushed down, breaking below this low right here, that we could see a continuation down. We could see the continuation of that downtrend to our next major level of structure, which is exactly what we got. And guys, this is one of those powerful techniques that I've used to create multiple profitable trading strategies, and that also allows me to make these really accurate market predictions that's using multiple time frame confluence. So what we were waiting on is we already had that downtrend bias on our daily chart. We wanted to wait and see that downtrend bias also exist here on the 4-hour chart, and then we wanted to look for short trades in trend continuation down to our next level of structure, which is our black line right here. And that's exactly what we got out of the euro dollar. So based on last week's analysis, this market played out really, really nicely. Now what are we expecting out of this pair going forward into this week and the next coming weeks? Well, what have we done? Now we've pushed down to what we consider a major level of structure. What can this major level of structure support provide us with? Well, it can provide us with support once more. As you can see, we've had a lot of support from this level before. Now on a 4-hour time frame, we are in a downtrend. On this daily time frame, we have a downtrend bias, but this market's running into this major level of structure. So what I'm personally going to be waiting for at this level is counter trend trading opportunities from this little zone here between where we are and about the 113 even handle. Anywhere in that zone is going to be a place I look for counter trend opportunities to possibly push us back up to this previous area of support looking left. And that's what I'm expecting here out of the euro dollar for this coming week. We could also see this market just continue down without getting that counter trend bounce. But if we get some kind of entry reason here at the trading channel, we're going to be taking a trade based on that entry reason for a counter trend bounce here out of the euro dollar based on where price action is right now and based on our technical analysis. So that's what we're expecting. That's what we're looking for here out of the euro dollar. We'll go ahead and move on to our next pair now. Our next pair we're going to take a look at is the pound dollar. Here on this pair, looking at it on the daily chart, we expected a move down, but we also were hoping to see this market get a little bit higher into this zone before placing a trade. We got no kind of opportunity based on last week's prediction, but we did say that we predicted a move down from this level. Now, the market, again, did not quite get to that level. We did see this move down. So what's the market done now? Well, last week we said that we needed to see this market break and close below this level before we could see, or before we could say that this is a continuation down of our previous trend here. As you can see, this market was trending down quite well before we started doing this little reversal move, putting us in a possible situation to see this market go higher. So what we're expecting to see out of this market now is we're right back at support, right? This was our previous support level. It's not necessarily a major level of support, but it's a place we can look for possible counter trend bounces up to this level. Once we get back up to this level, that's going to be a great place at the 129.5 zone to start looking for possible trend continuation moves after the break of this previous support level to the downside. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to on this daily chart. You can see that we've just broken below structure support. Again, combining time frames, if we go down to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, you'll see that we have a very similar situation. 4 hour, we've been doing nothing but going down, obviously on this chart, as you can see here. Breaks of structure support, looking back at those levels for possible trades, and also down on the 1 hour time frame, we're going to be in a downtrend as well, staying in a downtrend on this pair until we break and close above this level. So all this area between our support here and our resistance here is areas that the market could possibly push down in trend continuation. One of the better bets is going to be back at this previous level of support for the pound dollar. Now, since we think that this previous level of support is a possible area for trend continuation, and we're at a previous daily level of structure support that could cause a counter trend bounce here on the pound dollar, what I'm going to be looking for is a possible counter trend bounce. That's exactly what I'm going to be paying attention to here on the pound dollar for, is a counter trend bounce from somewhere around that 127.8 level. That's what we're paying attention to here on this pair. Multiple time frame confluence, guys, one of those key tactics that we can use to help predict market moves. So let's go back out to the daily chart. Go down to the dollar yen. Here's another pair that we had a very accurate market prediction from last week. Last week we talked about this market possibly coming up into a previous level of daily resistance and finding a nice bounce from that level. We'll take a look at that clip really quickly, and then we'll be right back to discuss what we're expecting next out of the dollar yen. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Anyway, we have this move down. And on a 4 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame, that's going to create a downtrend. We already know that. You can go down to smaller time frames and take a look. We probably will before we end this video. But this next push up would be a trend continuation play on one of those smaller time frames based on a major level of structure on the daily chart. That's a good thing. That's a pretty accurate possible trade, at least considering the back testing and trading that we've done in the past. This area at 112.95, around the 113 even handle, would be a great place for us here at the trading channel to start looking for shorting opportunities down to our next previous level of major structures. So before we talk about what happened last week on the dollar yen based on the analysis we did based on that clip you just saw, for the next 3 days we're going to have a reversal training series, a 3-part training series we put together a couple months ago. We're going to have it open for the next 3 days for absolutely free. So if you are interested in learning more about trading around structure levels, trading around trends and reversals, then this course has a massive amount of information in it for you, and it's absolutely free. All you have to do is put in your email address and we'll send you the course immediately afterwards. Again, if you're interested in that, then the link is in the description below. Not to mention that in that course we teach an entire reversal trading strategy that we use on a daily basis here at the trading channel. So again, if you're interested, the link for that training is in the description below. Now let's get back to the dollar yen, and here on this pair, last week's prediction, last week's analysis that we just took a look at in that clip we were talking about, we said that this market could come up to this around 113 even handled number, and that if we saw the dollar yen come up to this level, we would be looking for short trading opportunities for trend continuation on lower time frames to push this market down. That's exactly what we got, guys. We'll go ahead and go down to the 4-hour time frame and take a look at that. So on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, using that multiple time frame confluence along with the daily chart level of structure provided a very accurate trading opportunity from this level around 113 even here on the dollar yen. And if we go down to a smaller time frame, I'll show you guys a little bit about how you can use this type of method to actually create day trading strategies as well. On a 15-minute chart here, you can see we get a really nice double top situation right at this level. So doing your analysis, doing your breakdown from the daily chart, seeing that level of structure, seeing that on the 4-hour, 1-hour charts you're in a downtrend, and then seeing the 15-minute chart entry reason coming along here with a double top that we see can make for a really accurate trading opportunity and something you may possibly want to test to see if it provides you with an edge over the market and if you want to fit something like this into your trading plan. So the dollar yen here providing us with a pretty accurate prediction from last week. We'll go ahead and move on now to our next pair, which will be the Aussie dollar. Here on the Aussie dollar daily chart, if we scroll sideways, last week we said that we were expecting straight up trend continuation out of this pair. The reason for that is quite simple and hopefully easy for you to see based on this chart. The Aussie dollar has been in a downtrend, no way around it. So with that being the case, our expectation is that trend to continue. And now we're actually putting it in this little period of consolidation here on the Aussie dollar. With this little period of consolidation, we could see a multitude of different things, not the least of which is advanced patterns. And considering we're in a downtrend, and on the 4-hour chart, you can already see this advanced pattern is pointed out. This is called an AP2 for the way we trade advanced patterns here at the trading channel. And this specific pattern is just a series of ratios we use in order to find accurate trading opportunities, accurate trading zones. Here specifically, we have this area around 71.3 that's going to be a potential zone. If the market gets to that level, we can start looking for possible trend continuation out on that daily chart. Remember, we're looking for trend continuation out there for this Aussie dollar pair. So that's something we're paying attention to going into the rest of this week, is for this completion of this advanced pattern and for trend continuation to happen at least down to close to our 7D even handle number here. This zone here is where we're expecting this market to eventually get to, and it's going to be the next place we look for possible counter trend opportunities here on the Aussie dollar. We're going to move on now to our final pair. Our final pair of the video will be the dollar Swiss, another pair where we had a fantastic prediction from last week. We'll take a look at a clip from that video really quickly, and I'll be right back. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in a second. Be the dollar Swiss. The dollar Swiss has done something that we absolutely expected from last week's video. We talked about the 0.9849 level being support. We said that this market had broke above that level. Then we were either expecting this market to get all the way up to our counter trend level after breaking above it, and this 1.0 area, this little zone I'm drawing in now, this is the level we expected the market to reach. But we did say in that previous video that we could either go straight up to it or we could get a pullback. That pullback more than likely would come into our previous major level of structure at 0.9849, and then that level could act as support to push the market up to our 1.0 even handle. Looks like we're seeing the start of that, possibly the start of that trend continuation move here on the daily chart that could push the market up to 1.0. So we're looking for long opportunities on this pair on smaller time frames until we get up to the level of 1.0 even, this little zone here starting at 0.9982. Okay, traders, so before we look at the dollar Swiss, if you're interested in advanced patterns, which is what you see on the screen, this AP2 that we just talked about on the Aussie dollar, we're actually going to be doing a free training on one of our favorite advanced patterns coming up in the next couple of weeks. If you want to be alerted about that and also alerted when we come out with the advanced pattern mastery course in the next couple of weeks, then there's a link in the description for you to sign up for an email list where you'll be alerted about that. It's absolutely free to sign up, and you'll just be alerted about our free trainings coming up on advanced patterns. And now let's go ahead and look at the dollar Swiss and look at how this prediction played out from last week. Some crazy technical analysis last week, guys. We had almost every one of these top 5 major pairs perform exactly how we expected based on those predictions that we made last week, right? Like right here, for instance, here on the dollar Swiss, last week's analysis provided us with an expectation of finding support from 0.9849. That support pushing us up to around our 1.0 even handle number and then getting a possible counter trend bounce from that level. That's exactly what's played out here on the dollar Swiss. And as for what we're expecting going forward on this pair, of course, we're expecting what we talked about last week is this little counter trend bounce from the level we're at now, around the 1.0 even level. We're expecting this level to provide some type of counter trend bounce. The possibilities are that we come back down into this previous level of support, or previous level of resistance, excuse me, that could provide us with support, or we come down to our previous level of support in this area. And of course, there's always that possibility that the market continues down, that this causes a complete reversal here out of the dollar Swiss. Now, let's say that doesn't happen. The point of trading, the point of having a trading plan, is to be ready for whatever the market's going to do. So what if the market throws something completely unexpected at us, and instead of a counter trend push down, we see this market start to break above this resistance level here? Well, it's quite simple. If that's the case, we're going to be using our structure rules that we know. Again, if you don't know a lot about structure or trend, check out that free reversal training in the link in the description. But we know that that area of resistance is likely, if broken, going to turn into support. So that's what we can expect if we see a break of this resistance level. If we get an entry at this level, for us here at the trading channel, it's going to be a good opportunity to take advantage of some possible counter trend moves here out of the dollar Swiss. And guys, that's our predictions on the top 5 major pairs. If you enjoyed that, make sure you click the like button, make sure you're subscribed. And also, if you're someone who's struggling in your trading and you want to speed up your path to becoming a professional trader with a organized step-by-step course that's in much more depth and detail than we ever go into here on YouTube, with the strategies that we actually use on a daily basis here at the trading channel, then there's a link in the description for our flagship program called the EAP Training Program. If not, that's fine too. Again, just make sure you are subscribed here to at least be alerted when we come out with the free, valuable content we have each and every week here on YouTube. I wish you guys the best of luck in all your future trades. I hope that you trade green throughout this whole week, and I will talk to you next time.